Well, good day to all of my Carter Cougar families and all of our Carter students. I am so excited to be here and presenting this video for you guys today and welcome everybody back to our 2021-2022 school year. We are super excited to be coming back in person 5 days a week for all of our students. It's been a long road to get here, but man, we are excited to get them up and going. Our teachers have been working really hard throughout the summer and over the last couple of weeks, setting up their classrooms, meeting together with grade levels and planning and trying to get everything ready so that we can be offering the very best year for your students. We're super excited to get started on this. With that, I want to talk a little bit about two things on this video today. It's going to be a little different on our back to school night from what we used to. And I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the safety protocols that we have in place and we'll continue to kind of run with and expectations for dealing with the COVID virus, as well as I'm going to take you guys outside and walk you through our parking lot, because even though we've sent out maps and everything else like that, we've had some changes with our dismissal time. And me being a visual learner, I figured it might be better if I just take you out there and walk you through our parking lot. It's nice, it's Saturday, so nobody's here, so nobody's going to run me over when I'm out there trying to explain some of those things. So here we are ready, we are excited and ready to go. I'm going to start a little bit with why were we so excited? Well, last year was challenging, to say the least. So the idea to get back to some sense of knowing and doing what we do is exciting. It's also exciting in that we learned a ton last year. We learned, teachers just rallied. I could not be any prouder of every single teacher here at Carter Elementary School, whether they did the distance learning piece or when they came back and did the hybrid piece. We learned so much last year, whether it was the use of technology, where we learned that so many students really thrived under those conditions. We also learned that some other kids that really had a hard time with just kind of getting through the computer and staring at the screen. But what it's done, you guys, is we've learned so much how to present lessons differently, how to use Google Classroom better, how to use some of the different software options that are available to us, that it was a very much of an eye-opener to a lot of us, myself included, that it's okay to be different and kids to learn different. If the computer works for you, let's go. If you need pen and paper, let's go. But we learned that we need to be open and rethinking how we're going to be address our kids, because that's one thing that really came across loud and clear last year is we had learners that, again, thrived underneath the distance learning conditions, and others who didn't and needed to be in here, needed to be with the teacher. Now, granted, guys, nothing is better than being in a classroom and receiving lessons and directions directly from the teacher. So again, another reason why we're so excited for this year. I really believe that it's a chance for us to reinvent ourselves. Or for those of you who remember, our theme the last 2 years was Imagine the Possibilities. Well, now it's a chance for us to reimagine some of the possibilities. And when I say reinvent, let's rethink what we do. What can we do, what can we use that was successful last year that will allow us to implement changes in the classroom so that we can better meet the needs of all of these kids. We try every day, no matter what. When we were in person, pre-COVID days, this group worked their behinds off trying to get things going. But this allows us now to really rethink some things. And again, our teachers learned so much last year that I think they're excited to try on some of the new, and as well as to get back to some of the old. I can't wait to just get back into the noise and the hustle and bustle. I think I missed that more than anything, particularly last year when we were in the office trying to make plans and just not hearing the laughter and the joyousness and just the noise, the buzz that comes with opening school. So again, super excited about all of that. Okay, I'm going to jump in because I know I talk way too much, and the teachers are going to be showing this. They're going to be like, come on, Mr. Williams. So here we go. I'm going to talk a little bit about COVID. We were really hoping to be done with this completely. And unfortunately, we're not there yet. We got pretty close, but we're getting there. I read something the other day, and it was a quote, and I don't remember the author, but basically it said, "Every storm runs out of rain eventually." So I'm sticking with that. I'm hoping that we get through this. We need to run out of rain on this COVID thing. We need to get back and have our normal lives back and all the other stuff, because right now it's a little bit crazy, just not here in Carter, not here in California, but across the country and across the world. So let me talk a little bit about what we've done, just some reminders for last year to make sure it put you at ease a little bit. Our district did an amazing job last year in putting in a bunch of safety protocols to make sure that when our kids did return in the hybrid setting last year, that we were safe. We started with just simply the air systems. So we went in, we put in what they call HEPA filters, which catch like 99% of all bacteria and dust and everything else that goes through the air conditioner. We put air purifiers in every single classroom that basically are running 24/7. And then on top, our district came over the top of that and added ionizers, which is a whole scientific thing that I'm not going to get into. But basically, it bolted onto our AC units, and really between that, the HEPA filters and the air purifiers, I would argue that the air within our classrooms is probably cleaner than just about anywhere else in the world. So really excited about that. We know that our classrooms are going to be safe and clean air and not spewing a bunch of the airborne particles that might come with this. So that was step one, really kind of making sure that we're good with that. We've been cleaning and sanitizing daily. We worked hard all summer to get in and get all of our classrooms done, and that's shampooing carpets, redoing tiles, wiping down walls, wiping down desks, and everything that goes with that. And we will continue with that regularly. We will be doing daily cleaning and sanitizing. We will take time out of our days to really hammer down on our 3 W's, right? Wash your hands, wear your mask, watch your distance. We teach our kids that every time they leave the classroom, they wash their hands when they go to eat, when they come back to eat. So we make sure that we just do everything right to make sure that we're safe. We've included wash stations. Some of you might have seen one that's set right outside of the office, another one that we have out by the lunch area, and it's a portable wash station with hand sanitizer, so kids can come up and always have an opportunity to wash their hands and sanitize their hands before they eat or after they eat, before they play or after they play. We have sanitizers everywhere. Every classroom teacher has at least 2 or 3. We've got plenty of hand sanitizing stanchions at all of our major entrances and exits. All of our classrooms, all of our bathrooms, everything has a hand sanitizer wash station with a quick little pump, wash your hands, and walk out and be clean. We have desk shields. We bought the desk shields. However, that is not something that we have to do this year. But moms and dads, parents, I'm going to tell you, if that is something that you feel that you would like to have around at your child's desk just for peace of mind, or if you think that it might be a safety feature, we are more than willing to go ahead and put those on our desks. Other than that, it is at the teacher's discretion on whether or not they put desk shields, and those are those clear plastic shields that go on each desk. The challenge with some of those guys, as we notice, is when you're looking through 2 or 3 or 4 of those to try to see the whiteboard, it gets really distorted. So, and we're not even sure how much help those things were, but you know, we purchased them just to be safe. We have them, and they are available if that you need it. We're also looking to add a part-time custodian on top of the 2 guys that we've got here that have been working really hard. We're going to have an evening custodian whose only job is going to be come in nightly and sanitize desks and all touch points throughout the school. So every morning when your kid comes to school, you can be assured that they're going to be walking into a clean, sanitized classroom. Door handles will be clean. Gates will be cleaned, everything that goes with it. So just through all of that is a really good start for what we've already had in play and what we will continue to be in play this year. As far as masks, right, the big question. Right now, we are currently required to wear masks in all indoor settings. We are hoping that doesn't change, but one of the things that we learned last year is this thing can be real fluid. The CDC guidelines have changed, as you all know, on a regular basis, but as of right now, we are excited with the idea that students and teachers and parents and anybody else on campus will only be having to wear masks indoors, which means that our kids will be able to leave them in the classroom and go out there and play at recess, go to PE without their masks, go to lunch without their masks. And so we're excited about that because I think we need that. We need that just a little bit. Now, that said, please know that if your child is more comfortable having a mask on all the time, no problem. We're good with that, you guys. Nobody's going to question it. Nobody's going to give them a hard time over it. Whatever they feel comfortable and makes you feel safe is what we are going to do to make sure that we're doing everything right for your kiddos. It was amazing last year on how many kids they're so used to it, you guys, just so you know. You know, you'd walk into a kindergarten classroom and we were really worried about our kindergartners wearing them and some of the others, but it was no problem, okay? So we're good. So masks will be required. Teachers will need to wear masks in the classroom as well. However, we also bought some shields that can cover their face that have a little bit of a drape, which will allow them to not wear a mask. And really the goal behind that is so, especially with the lower grades, when we're teaching phonics, letter sounds, some of the other stuff, that they can really see the teacher's mouths, their lips, where they put their tongue when we're trying to enunciate and learn new letters, new sounds, and new words. So we have that as an option as well. Another bonus is that social distancing is going to be encouraged. We will encourage it, but we no longer have to cohort at recess and lunch. So when it's fourth grade recess, fourth graders get to go out and play. They get to make friends with kids or reconnect with their friends that might have been in other classrooms. And we really think that that's important because we know that we're going to have to go back and address the social emotional piece with many of our kids have missed out on. Many of our kids, you guys, have not been back at school since March 12th, 2019. They stayed distance learning for a variety of reasons, all of which we understand and are okay with. We know there's going to be a lot of apprehension. We know there's going to be a lot of anxiety. We know that all of that is coming, but we will have plans to address all of that as we move forward and see what our kids need, whether it's time with a counselor, whether it's time with me, whether it's just setting up some positions where they can meet with their peers and go play and have some fun. But lunchtime, we're going to be able to go out and you know, we're going to distance a little bit on the yard while we're eating lunch to kind of keep everybody safe. But other than that, man, we get to go out and play. The balls will be out. The tether balls will be out. The hula hoops will be out. Kids will be on the soccer field. Kids will be on the handball court. Some will be shooting baskets. Some will be playing foursquare. Some will be playing tetherball. And some will just be running around playing tag. And others might just sit down at the lunch tables and do some art or play a board game. And we're very much okay with all of that. I talked about the 3 W's, right? Wash your hands, wear your mask, watch your distance. Please help us with that. We will be teaching those lessons regularly, particularly at the beginning of the school year. But that's important that you reiterate that with your kid, that it's okay. We want them to be washing their hands regularly. We want them to be wearing their masks in the classroom. It shouldn't be something where we have to keep saying, hey, put your mask on, put your mask on. If a kid needs a mask break, we fully understand that. We learned that last year with hybrid. And we would send them outside and let them take their mask off for a minute and just take a couple of deep breaths. Or maybe they run to the restroom and get a drink of water and stuff like that. And then they come back into the classroom with their mask on, ready to go. We are very amenable and flexible and accommodating to meet all of the needs that might happen. So for those of you who'd like to volunteer, as of right now, currently, we are still a no-go on opening our school site for volunteers. I know that hurts because we've got a ton of parents who have already been inquiring and want to go and work with their teachers and get started. We're not there yet, but we will get there. It should not stop you from going out and looking at starting the process for getting your volunteer badge so that when we are open, we can invite you guys on campus. We will not be having parents on campus. We will stay closed campus until further notice, just to make sure that we know that all of our kids are safe. And no offense, parents, but we don't know where y'all have been. So we want to make sure that we can honestly say, and I could look every parent in the eye and say, no, we're doing everything right to make sure that your kid is protected. So in the beginning, we will not be having parents on campus. The very first day, our kindergarten parents are allowed to walk their kids into the classroom. But other than that, we're going to be kind of opening our gates at 8:15. We're going to welcome everybody in, and trust us. Trust us that we're going to do good by your kids, and we're going to make sure that we have everything in play to make sure that they're safe and ready to go. Other than that, we're pretty excited. We got library going. We'll have an isolation room. Field trips have been put on hold right now, but school assemblies are not. So we will be looking, if we can't do field trips, to try to bring things in, just to try to make things as regular, as normal as possible. And our PTO is ready. Their calendar is full. We have booked everything. All of our literacy nights, math nights, books, burgers, and baskets, book fairs, science night, all of the stuff that we know to get going so that we can really be a community school. That said, you guys, I can see I'm at 15 minutes. I'm talking way too much already. I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to take us all out into the parking lot and talk a little bit about our dismissal procedures. So bear with me. I will be right with you. The next time you see me, we'll be standing in the street. Okay, Al. So one of the biggest changes that we've got going this year is our dismissal procedures and staggering of when we're going to release kids. Those of you who have been with us for a while, our parking lot is a challenge to say the least. It is something that I've inherited, and there's really no fixing it at this point just yet. Although we are going to get some remodeling done, and it might help. But I'm just going to walk you through what our changes are. We will be dismissing first through third graders at 3 o'clock. And we will be dismissing fourth, fifth, and special needs kids at 3:15. With hybrid last year, when we were doing dismissal, we were able to clear about 320 kids in 15 minutes. So we're thinking by breaking it up a little bit, that we won't be in line and backed up out into the street on this side or on this side, waiting to get in and having some chaos. So let me just show you as I turn my camera around. Okay, so here we go. You can see these are the two main lanes that enter our school. For all of our kindergarten and first and second grade parents, you will stay in the left lane, this lane here, as I'm looking south, the left lane, and you're going to go to the edge of this fence line, and you will come across in front of the dumpsters, and it'll come across, and then we will, right where my truck at is where we will have stacked up. We load 5 or 6, 7 at a time. Then that group moves, the next group comes in. So that's what we're going to be doing with our first and second graders. Our kinder parents, you will stay also in this lane, and you will come in, and you're going to have to park. We will have designated parking for just our kinder parents right here in the front, so that you guys can get out, park, walk, and go and retrieve your children from your teacher directly, so we make sure that everybody's getting where they need to go. This outside lane here, the right lane as I'm looking south, is for third, fourth, and fifth, who will be dismissing from the bottom parking lot. So you will ride this lane all the way down, make the turn, and then we will dismiss from you, and I'll walk my way out there, but there's a gate out by the back where we will have teachers and yard duties and anybody else who we need out there to make sure that we get your kids in their cars. So that's the gist of it, guys. Bottom line is, be slow. Understand that our parking lot is a challenge. Know that coming in. Don't get frustrated with others. Be cautious, but most importantly, be courteous. If somebody's stuck in this outside lane that needs to get into the inside lane and you're here, please let them in. Stop. You would want the same thing to happen for you, because sometimes turning in, if I'm coming in from Portola area, I might have to hang tight and stay into this lane only to move over as needed. So be cautious, be courteous, be safe. That way we can make sure that all of our kids are safe and that we've got a pretty good routine for loading up our kiddos. For those of you who have siblings, maybe you have a first grade student as well as a third or a fourth grade student, particularly fourth or fifth grade, we will be having the fourth or fifth grade students walk to the multi-purpose room to grab their younger sibling, and they will be dismissed at the 3:15 time. So if you have a fourth or fifth grader, and a first grader, know that your dismissal time or your pickup time will be the 3:15 time with 4th and 5th exit. But we will have your younger sibling with their older sibling so that we can just dismiss all together. If you are a carpool and you pick up multiple children, you need to let us know and we will make arrangements. Other than that, you guys, we think we've got a good plan. We're gonna try to get it out. I've been talking too much. The teachers are already gonna want me to shut this video down. I'm sorry that we're not able to come together in person, but that will come. Remember, every storm runs out of rain eventually, so we'll be good. Remember, kinder orientation will be Monday, 6 o'clock. We're trying to have this as a parent-only informational event. So leave your kids at home. Kindergarten parents, you will be able to walk your students into the yard and into your classrooms to make sure that you meet your teacher. For everybody else, 1st through 5th and special ed, we will be having our back to school meet the teacher night on Tuesday, beginning at 6, and another round at 6:30 for some of you guys who have siblings. That said, you guys, that's our parking. This is main dismissal. Looking forward to an amazing, awesome year. So much more to say, but I gotta try to keep it tight so that the teachers have some time to give you some basics. We will also, just so you know, for those of you who are still not sure about coming into school regularly, we will offer a virtual option for our back to school night so that you guys can get all of this information, meet the teacher, learn their expectations, what they'll be learning throughout the year. That said, you guys, enjoy our parking lot on a Saturday. It's very rarely this empty, but it gives us a chance to really show you how we're going to be doing this. There's also a map that I included in the letter that went home to parents. That one was pretty thorough, talks about just about everything that I've mentioned today. And here we go. Have a great day, and let's have an even better year.